Hello, this is Jonas from Katatonia. You're listening to Brutally Delicious Podcast. Hello.
Hey, Jonas.
Hello.
How are you, my friend?
All good, thank you.
Can you hear me okay?
Sorry?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I've got my partner Riina on the line. Thanks for joining us.
No problem, thank you.
Hey, Jonas, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you doing today?
I'm pretty okay.
What you been spending your time on?
Today I've been not doing too much. I've been working a little bit on music, and I just recently cooked some dinner, and now I'm having a glass of wine.
Good for you.
Oh, you lucky bastard. I wish I had some wine. Like, seriously, I just went to have dinner at a restaurant, and we, finished our order at 5:02, and I was like, okay, so give me, I could have, a glass of Prosecco or something to go with it. And they were like, sorry, you're 2 minutes late. We can't serve alcohol anymore.
Yeah.
This is how you fix Corona, apparently, not serving alcohol after 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So stupid. But hey, it's so good to have you on the show. Katatonia is my all-time favorite band, or at least in the top 3. So this is a huge thrill for me. So thank you for participating.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Thank you.
You want to take...
And congratulations on yet another great album. It's pretty epic again, and really love the direction that it's going to or taking Katatonia, even though it still obviously holds the trademark sound and one of those trademark things being your voice, which is really cool. Can I ask you something about how you perform live?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I've seen you a few times, and one of those times was at the Tuska Festival here in Helsinki, because Bruce is in the States and I'm here in Finland.
Okay.
And so Tuska is my, highlight of the summer, and of course it's canceled now. But, a few years back it wasn't, and you guys were also playing, and I remember it was scorching hot, and you were there singing with your entire set of hair just in front of your face, and I was having a panic attack just watching and trying to imagine the oxygen deprivation that you must be under. So how do you actually do that? And do you practice at home with a pillow on your face and just I can do this without breathing,
No, I don't. And I don't even think about it. When we're performing, to me, I don't think that the hair is the biggest problem when it comes to if we're playing a hot, stage somewhere. Of course, it adds up to everything, but I really like getting a bit sweaty when I'm doing a gig, because then you will feel afterwards that it's, that you have been doing something energetic, even though we're maybe not the most energetic band, but you can at least feel that you've been doing something important, which is nice,
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And even if you don't jump around, singing is it takes some energy and strength and physical strain.
Yeah.
You play a gig that's probably at least an hour, if not longer. So it's definitely an exercise. But okay.
Yeah, mentally as well, because you have to concentrate and you have to, focus on different things all the time, to remember the lyrics, to sing them as good as you can. And, it's it's a bit of a mental exercise, I think. So, it's nice.
So
do you have, sorry, Bruce, I'm totally hijacking this one. But so do you have trouble learning the lyrics? Do you have secret notes on the palm of your hand and they get smudged because they were done in a ballpoint pen, and then you panic and, I don't know. Is that a thing?
Not really, not with Katatonia, because usually, there's always the off word that you forget every gig, I think, there's some words that just disappear, but most of them I know by heart, and we usually rehearse quite a bit before. So if there's something I can't really, remember from years before, I just stand there with a lyric sheet and try to memorize everything.
Right.
But I did a few shows with a side thing that I had with Bruce from the Pineapple Thief. We had this band called Wisdom of Crowds, and we did a small tour. And the problem there was I didn't write the lyrics, so I just sang them on the album, and then it was time to do a tour, and I couldn't, really get into just trying to remember them. And I always remember them in the wrong sort of ways, and it was a bit. So then I had to have a paper in front of me, at least on one gig, I remember, and I was sweating so much down on the paper. So as you said, it got all smudged out. So on the last song we did, there was no writing left on the paper, and I had to make up words because I knew how to sing them, but I had no idea what the real words were. So I just made something up on the spot.
Nice.
Which is that's a fun memory, but once you're there, it's not too fun.
Right, in the moment, it's not fun, sure. So I have a question.
That sounds amazing. But you mentioned that you didn't write the lyrics. So do you think it's like also an extra challenge to try and then convey the spirit and the emotion that the lyrics are trying to portray if you're not if they're not from your pen? I could probably learn any lyrics, but I think it's much easier if you wrote them yourself, because then you have been working them, you have been, swapping out words for the ones that you want to use. They're sort of, they're stuck in your brain somehow. So I think that's easier, at least for me, to remember my own words. But, I like words, I like lyrics, so I usually don't have a problem learning other stuff either. But that Wisdom of Crowds thing was a bit rushed, I think. We got the shows, we didn't have too much time to rehearse, and
right.
That's stuff that happens.
All right.
Yeah, so I was more for the emotional side of it, when you're performing them, not so much just remembering the lyrics, but just infusing that emotion into them,
I think so.
Interpretation of them.
Yeah, I think, you're closest to yourself. That's what people always say, and I guess it's true. So if you write the lyrics yourself, they're coming from your heart or soul or whatever, then it's probably easier to sing them, I would say. Yeah,
makes sense. Bruce, what do you think?
So I have a question for you. So I'm a longtime fan as well. I've seen you a couple times on 70,000 Tons of Metal and here in the U.S., but you guys were one of the first ones to do a live stream, I believe, when this whole pandemic, or a real live stream. And I was curious how it was performing. I know you mentioned it during it, but was it really difficult performing without anybody in the crowd? Because you don't get that give and take?
Yeah, that was actually the most difficult thing about the whole scenario. And I wasn't aware beforehand, because we did a lot of rehearsals before, and when you rehearse you don't have a crowd, obviously, and so it felt like it should be like a rehearsal, but when we actually started playing that show, it felt like a real show, because you had the nerves, it was really hot, so it was very sweaty, and it felt like a real show. But the thing was that between the songs, my brain had, for at least 1 or 2 seconds between every song, my brain said, "Oh, so they don't like this song," because there's no cheering, no applause, no nothing,
right.
Until I sort of remembered what we were doing, actually. So that was actually the hardest thing about the whole live stream, because there was, dead silence between the songs, and that's not what you wanna when you wanna hear.
Production-wise, though, I think it set the bar.
Really.
Production-wise, I think it set the bar really high, though, because that one was done so well that a lot of other ones I've seen since then, don't hold the candle to it. Was it hard getting that absolutely killer production?
Not really, because we were sort of asked to do this because our friend David Castillo, who is the owner of the Grundal studio where we recorded the whole thing, he was also affected by the pandemic because he usually works with clients from abroad, and all of a sudden no one could travel, So he tried to come up with a new concept where he could, earn at least some money, and this was the thing he was wanting to try out. And we were, I think, one of the first bands that he asked to be part of it. So when we came there for a meeting, he was saying, like, I have a video team and they have all the things you need to broadcast this live. And so we didn't really think too much about the production. We all only wanted to, prepare ourselves to do a gig that's in a weird setting, So, but I think the whole thing was very professional. It came out really well.
Oh, I agree. I think it set the standard really high. It was great.
Yeah, thank you.
I've watched a lot since then, and that's kind of what I hold everything else to. I'm like, shit, I saw the Katatonia one, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, as I said, we didn't know anything what to expect from it.
Right.
Not the outcome, not the the sort of reception it got. We had no idea. And for us, it was overwhelming afterwards. It was, people were, so happy with it. And very, very rewarding thing to do in a very strange situation for everyone, So I'm just happy that we could broadcast some, enjoyment to people all around the world. Yeah.
All right, so I've got one more. I told them I wouldn't keep you too long. Are you taking advantage you said you're working on new material. Is there any Katatonia stuff in the works?
Well, I work on music all the time, so I guess you could say that, but I don't really, right now, I mean, it's been a year now since the new album came out, but it doesn't feel like that because we haven't played a single show for it yet. Right. So there's no rush. I'm just writing music just to have, to spend my days basically, to do something that's fulfilling and creative. Because I think if I would just sit around here and think about the situation, I would,
go crazy,
have a breakdown. Yeah, definitely.
Riina?
Understandable. Yeah, the whole breakdown thing is imminent to most of us.
Yeah.
Like, hit the fan and we get clearer air afterwards, I guess. But yeah, my question is, like, you guys had some gigs booked for June already. I think there was like Ukraine, Poland, places like that. Do you think those are going to happen?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
There are gigs that were postponed from last year. And, it makes sense to move them forward a year, but I don't think they will happen. I don't have the exact lowdown on which gigs are already canceled, but I mean, as it looks right now, I think, gigs probably maybe later in the summer, more probably in the fall, hopefully, but I don't have like an insight or anything. I'm just guessing here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As anybody else is doing at the moment,
Sure.
Right, exactly. At least the Finnish gig, the Kulttuuritalo gig in Helsinki was I think in January 2022. So we have hope.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of time. So hopefully the situation can, change until then. I really hope so, because we definitely need to get out there and do a tour for the album and get back on track.
Yeah,
absolutely. We're all going to have our fingers crossed for that to happen. Yeah. Hey, thank you so much, Jonas.
Hey, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you taking the time on such short notice. I know you're it's late there. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much for taking the time as well.
I'm hoping we see you somewhere on the road here. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get back on the road and see each other and all that.
Throw down a beer.
Yeah, drink beer.
Yes.
Beer with people, real people at the same table. Oh my God.
All right, my friend. It will happen. I hope it's sooner. You 100% agree. All right, be well, my friend. Thank you. Stay safe.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Happy Friday, friend.
Bye.
Yeah, you too. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello out there. Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's Magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.